Tulsi Gabbard took the oath Wednesday to become America's next director of national intelligence. Gabbard is a former Democratic congresswoman from Hawaii who left the party in 2022 and went on to endorse President Trump. During the confirmation process, she faced scrutiny from Democrats and some Republicans on the Senate Intel Committee for a 2017 visit with former Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad and for refusing to call National Security Agency whistleblower Edward Snowden a traitor. The Senate ultimately confirmed her nomination with 52 GOP senators voting in favor. Only one Republican, Senator Mitch McConnell, voted with all 47 Democrats in opposition. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion joins us now. Nikole, Gabbard started the process under scrutiny. How did she win over the majority of Republicans?
Well, I think it's kind of a pattern that we've seen time and again with many of the president's nominees. They face some controversy and skepticism at the outset, but ultimately, after going through the process, we're seeing, many Republican senators kind of fall in line and move quickly to advance these nominees, and that really has been their goal from the outset. Leader Thune has made clear that he wants to move quickly on the president's agenda as well as his nominees. So Tulsi Gabbard being no exception. But really what made the difference in her case is that even in spite of that contentious confirmation hearing that she had, one that she did both openly but also behind closed doors with senators, is that she did appear to assuage some of their concerns in terms of her views with respect to intelligence, particularly FISA and that government surveillance program. And she clarified her views about Edward Snowden, among other things. There were also questions about her qualifications as well. But ultimately, many senators who were on the fence said that they felt that she had assuaged their concerns, made enough commitments that they felt comfortable in supporting her nomination, like Maine's Susan Collins, for instance, or Indiana's Todd Young. So that being said, it was enough for her to clear the hurdle, but just barely.
So former Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell was the only Republican, as I mentioned, to vote against Gabbard. He crossed party lines also in opposing Secretary Hegseth. Why did he vote against Gabbard? And are you getting a sense that maybe we could expect some more defiance given he's now out of leadership?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't necessarily consider it defiance. I think, Leader McConnell has always there are times certainly where he is in line with the party and obviously for many decades led the party and led the Senate Republican conference. But on the same token, he is someone with an independent mind. He's someone who is an institutionalist, and he is someone that has a noted history of breaking with the president, most notably with respect to his impeachment vote. So from that standpoint, Leader McConnell is never really afraid to go against the grain, if you will. But in this case, he just simply felt that Tulsi Gabbard really was not qualified for this post, that in his view, she had alarming lapses in judgment. And in terms of such a consequential role as the director of national intelligence, where you're really at the helm of all of the nation's intelligence agencies, he just simply felt that she just simply wasn't up to the task. And he felt that his role as a senator is to advise and consent and not consent if you don't agree with a candidate's qualifications.
Nikole, what's the latest with the budget? The government's only funded through mid next month. Am I correct?
Well, those are two separate things. I think you're referencing government funding. So, yes, that is due to expire March 14th. But today we had House Republicans introduce a budget resolution to jumpstart President Trump's legislative agenda. That is something, again, in addition to these nominees, they want to get him money for the border, get him money to extend his tax cuts. So they have to create what's called a budget resolution to move that process forward. That work is happening in the Senate and now happening in the House. It's just a matter if they can reconcile their two different versions.
Really quick, what about getting up to that March 14th deadline in this separate issue that you just mentioned?
Yeah, well, it's not looking good. I'll just say that, Lindsay. Speaker Mike Johnson a short time ago told Republicans that Democrats haven't really been that responsive and that the offers that they are putting on the table aren't really acceptable in their views. But then when you talk to Democratic leaders, they complain as well that Republicans really aren't coming to the table with strong ideas. And while they do want to have a bipartisan solution, at the end of the day, they're very concerned about some of the actions that they are seeing from the Trump administration. So really, it's safe to say we're kind of at a stalemate at this point.
Could come down to the wire again. All right, Nikole Killion, thank you.